Hi, welcome back. Oh my god. Mike started clipping for no reason there. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to, oh, shit. Hang on. I know the problem. Okay, there we go. That should be much better. Sorry about that. I forgot I was doing some testing earlier, so I cranked my microphone all the way up. So, I don't mean to blow out your guys' ears or whatever the hell it sounded like. I don't even want to know what it sounded like, but today is another great day going back into the courtroom today in the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. What was I doing last in this game? How's y'all's nights been doing? Cause mine's been doing okay. I just took me a little bit of a nap a couple minutes ago. Got up, ate some of these Japanese snacks from this big bag I got full of Japanese dagashi. Been snacking on some of those. There's some interesting stuff in here. The Japanese have Pop Rocks. You knew that? It's not called Pop Rocks. It's like a mix of stuff. It's weird. And I never liked Pop Rocks. I didn't used to. Hey, can you see this? Indeed I can, Jasmine Remedies. Indeed I can. Special content, what's that? Maybe DLC? Oh, I can't even, wait. Special contents. Accolades? Taylor? Select alternative outfits to be worn by some of the characters? Like Iris's homemade suit? Iris's homemade dress? And Herlock Sholmes? Oh! Who's this guy? Oh. Sholmes' Japanese jumble mix? To be honest, I kind of like that homemade suit a little better than the this generic ass school uniform, whatever the hell this is. Anyway, yeah, I've been doing good. How have you been doing? Oh, outfits are only available for use in the Great Ace Attorney 2. Oh, I can't even use these yet. Escapades? Oh. First class, all these side stories? I don't even know who half these characters are. No, we can't look at that yet. Let's see. Let's continue my game. What was I doing last time? I discovered that there was a lady in the restaurant, and I spent like an hour trying to tell the whole goddamn court that there was a lady in there. Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendants, and to Chamber 5. Excellent work, Rinosuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. And my chest was under my foot. And my brain was in my ear, did you know that? The last few streams I need to be here through audio only. It's like not being able to see, so I'm making something work through both platforms on my phone. That's some good jury rigging you're doing. I'm sorry to hear that the stream's not working out very much for you. I don't really understand how Twitch works in terms of changing the quality of the stream, like while you're watching the stream. I don't know. I'll never understand it. I think I fixed it there was a point in time where I halved my bitrate. I halved my bitrate from like 6,000 to like 3,000, and then I turned my resolution down from 1080 to 720. In some efforts to make it easier to see the stream for some people, but sorry to hear that it's not working out for you that well. My signal has sucked and my Wi-Fi always sucks now you're in. That's good to hear, but sorry to hear it. I still sorry to hear it. It's almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there, you are drenched in sweat. Your eyes popping, palms sweaty, mom spaghetti. And you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Oh yeah, it's the first damn mission. They're just telling me, oh, don't worry, Ryunosuke, you can do it. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I go through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Miss Jezdael Brett, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. It's okay, as long as this is working, I have to catch every detail of you sucking. JK? You don't even have to put the JK in there, I know I suck. Even on this first damn mission. Dr. Wilson wasn't oh, that's me. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly competent in the courtroom, but my powers of observation, quote unquote, are the one thing I am sure of. Oh wait, that's me. Shh, I'm getting these guys mixed up. I gotta. I'm talking as Kazuma as Ryosuke. Yes, I can see that. So this young gentlewoman, next to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene. It seems. Did you see what happened with that? They ran into the store, they tackled her over, knocked over a bunch of clothing racks. I was there. I saw it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. Just after I bent down and picked it up. Don't finish that sentence. The last thing I want to hear about is what happened after you bent over. Oh, sketching with the last one too. Finally left. You basically left off finally confirming that she was there. Do you remember how you did it? No. I think they said something about everyone was keeping their mouths shut because the police waiter dude. He had to keep it from everybody. Cause she's British. She's British. So they can't have the blame being pinned on her, I guess. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me. I was looking as white as a sheet, and he butted me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective. He apprehended the suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside the dining area. They partied. Ah, there you are. Well done, both of you. Shh, I don't remember what voice I gave this guy. Professor Mikitoba. Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations. Expectation, as I have to say. Yeah, it seems like you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial, you dick. Our modern country is still in its infancy, our justice system even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I want to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life. Bending over. Please, why don't you demonstrate for us? What? What are you saying, Cosmo? Well, so be it. So that's your... Let me take this stance. The Windy Room. MP. Hi. MP, how are you doing? I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma? Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. Infinite Wind? He's got that with the headband. Goddamn. I must say, I very want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was visiting professor at UME. And it was I who invited him. I was the dentist. One who removed his teeth. I remember it like it was yesterday. He was going in for a root canal. He really hated it when I poked his gums. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. So, good luck out there. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Who the hell is this broad? Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. You're in your seat. That's why the stake shot him. You damn know it. Let's get in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know what hit them. Old fossils? Yes, the velociraptor kind. They're very deadly. I was watching Jurassic Park 3 the other night. Oh shit! If you hadn't said you would believe me, then I'm fairly certain I would have been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend, and as a lover. What? What was that last bit? As a friend? I'm found guilty in this trial. He's really gonna give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this just isn't my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, he absolutely cannot afford to lose. All right then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can thank me later in the bedroom. Oh shit! You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki medals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. Oh, is that it? All right. Oh yeah, I remember him. Court hereby resumes the trial of Ryosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Achi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Oh yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. There's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down on our nation's founders?
Again? Terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. We shall write it on sheet metal. We really have nothing to worry about, Ryosuke.
What do you mean?
Secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England?
Shut up! Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with the great word power, we become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Instead of steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
Everyone denied that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in the Supreme Court, there's one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. I have some beefy feelings for this lady's motive. Well, we're about to see her. Well, sad Rinosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror. You little brats! Thank you, Council. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Jezeel Brett. Yes.
Your Excellency!
Oh. Oh no. Oh god, she looks so pretentious. Oh.
Is that a swan? How adorable! What a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land.
Tea! Someone bring English tea. In England, no discussions take place without tea. Is that true? No idea.
So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at Le Carnival, but my
Yes, we all know about you already. I'm talking to the lady. I'm trying to simp for the lady. Get out of my way.
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners in England? It's always ladies first.
Is that true?
No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh, yeah, I think I did, didn't I? Yeah, your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty.
So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. What the fuck?
No swearing in this courtroom, shithead.
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what?
The lady says her name is Jezeel Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student currently enrolled in Yume University's medical faculty.
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you just said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird song.
Indeed, it's just like a hummingbird. Can you do it too, Ryusuke? The detective is translating her words faithfully enough.
Yes, I agree. You'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it?
Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryusuke. Court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Is Dr. Wilson your sugar daddy? Is that what they call it? Oh. She says, yes. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting. When you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, Would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? These are my nudes, you see. Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? As long for sure as some for sure. Some of us. Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight.
Do you mean to say?
Yes, it would appear as the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood.
Benji's Italian, can you read other dialects? Oh, yeah, that's it. Order in the court.
Hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Unfortunately, I'll have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. What did you say? Is that a yes? I can't hear.
I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. After a while, the accursed came over to greet the professor and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. And several of our survivors suffer from this. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit.
Ah, that sounds like a very tasty steak.
Yes!
Yes, it's a steak. But it was... No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Why, you filthy wretch! Look at you, black-hearted blackguard, and look at this snow-white angel!
This dude's a simp.
I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe!
You're still making the same mistakes, Rinosuke. You mustn't blur it out when you goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn.
But he's so annoying! Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before, and reported back to the bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go.
The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however.
Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there is nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. Minus that big-ass swan hat. I think she would be able to be... She could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. Unless until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden the weapon can be shown, this is moot. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter. That's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Of course, then I would go to... then I would be the one up on the...
Don't worry, don't think about doing anything rash, Rinosuke.
But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day.
You're right about that. Which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. Did you know some people smuggle things up their assholes? It's true. They do it all the time. That gives me an idea. Remember what we said about bending over a couple hours ago?
Oh shit. I had arranged to meet...
Okay, let's see. Alright, let's see here. Real talk. The beefsteak part. The beefsteak part is ticking me off because wasn't the beefsteak right in front of his seat? Maybe. So let's take a look. Photograph of the victim. Oops. Photograph of the victim. Well, the steak looks like it would have been. He would have been in a position to have that steak, not her. So I'm gonna try that. Here's the argument, then I'm like, yeah. Shut up. Don't give me any hints. So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor, at the end of which you shot him. Which is an out and out, a totally unfounded lie. Like my sexuality. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark contrast to you, you dress from head to toe in a dull black school uniform.
My character design is absolute shit!
I know. Tell me about it. At least I have this headband that's constantly waving in the air. What do you have to show for it? We can't do that, the trial's over. Even you, with your thick skin, must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room.
Only too well. I feel half dead already. And the fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony isn't making me feel any better either.
First thing to do is press her on any of her statements that seem even slightly off to you. Yeah, maybe I'll press her on this statement first. Do that, and an opening will present itself. I promise you. It's programmed to.
If you say so. I need to expose the true face of this exotic foreigner that's hiding behind the mask. That's what I should be aiming for in this cross-examination.
Alright.
Yes! Yes! Well, he was unable to eat, you say? That was because he just had a tooth removed at a haunted clinic, correct?
That's right.
You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering?
Was Miss Brett aware of that fact?
It seems so, yes. She heard the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate that steak pictured here, is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left. Dear me, what a harrowing experience to have traveled to a different island on the far side of the world to be embroiled in such tragic incident. You didn't even get to finish your steak. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight.
So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all. That's right. Other than some carbonated water.
Just water?
Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted with their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. What do you think, Ryosuke, about the witness's last statement?
It's meaningful. Ow. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing?
The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Well, sidestep, counsel.
Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony.
Gladly, she said.
That was brilliant.
Oh, that was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm gonna remember that one.
Which one? The significance will become apparent when the time is right?
Oh, the significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase.
I hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke.
I ordered a beefsteak for myself and the press, and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water.
Huh. What do we have? I need to refresh myself. No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body because he drank carbonated water. All the carbonation bounced the bullet right out of him. Time death charge. Single bullet fired at close range. Fatal hemorrhaging from the pectoral ballistic trauma. No exit wound. Bullet did not pass through the body. Photographic print that shows the victim here shining. Well, it looks like if he had a toast, he drank it all. Sketch on the back. Yeah, that's Nick's fault. Oh, crime scene photo. A bottle of carbonated water and a steak lunch can be seen on the victim's table. Oh, but it's corked. It's corked, so he didn't pour that glass. Well, but there's water in the. Wait a minute. What? There's water in the glass, but the bottle's corked. I mean, I guess they could have recorked the bottle. If people are like, you insane? They just recorked the bottle, you dumbass. I'm sorry. Drinking anything but water. Yes! Oh no! I didn't mean to do that. I pressed the wrong button. Well, what was that last statement made by the witness? You clearly don't know how to press the buttons on your controller. Exactly. Perfectly reasonable in any way. Perhaps you should take a leaf out of the witness's book and learn to be more reasonable yourself. There's only one class. Ah, damn it. This is what I wanted to present. This one. How do I? Yes! Yes! Oh, that's it? Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, it's bullshit. Excuse me, did you just say it was bullshit? What odd is the defense's inability to express itself? Rinosuke, what is it about the print that looks so odd to you? Well, obviously it's the cheers. The cheers? Miss Burgess told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Ah. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here. Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over a minute? What possible difference does the presence of or absence of a glass make on the case? Minute, you say? Minute, you say? I don't know. Who has? I don't see that word very often. Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you gonna try to tell me you can clink with only 1? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. However, I ate the second one. Inspector, what did the lady say? It's true. I ate the second glass. It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. Huh? It was also terrifying, everything that had happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious. Sorry. Oh my god, she said words. She can talk. There, as I should the court before, there's no consequence at all. Oh, please. We must remember that the student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in a state of disarray? That's absurd. Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief? Ooh. No, this can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know. exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. It would appear that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. A handbag, you say? I have 10 of them. Using to carry all of my corn on the cob home from work. Yes, Your Excellency, a small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England.
Is it getting hot in here, or is it just me? Shit! The beautiful lady has graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. Isn't it hot, Your Honor? However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on this case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end, it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You've wasted enough time already.
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement?
Well, I don't know, really.
If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance.
Please don't say the word deeper around me. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance here, it's the handbag. Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it may be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right.
Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too.
What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard?
It's really very simple. We've outsmarted you. Now get out of this courtroom. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire the gun, we can deduce that there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't seriously be suggesting. Inspector Hosonaga? Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Jezeel Brett's handbag on the day of the murder?
No, sir. I did not.
As I thought. In other words, another gun. The one that was actually used to kill the professor. It could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. No!
Order!
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask.
You think so, Cosima? My bullshit illness is acting up again.
Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police.
The bullshit. It's real.
As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because it was unnecessary. My opening handbags disease will flare up again.
Unnecessary in what way?
I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. This photographic print. It's drawn in crayon, but you must believe it to be true. The hell is that on his... Is that a cow tattoo? You see that shit? This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never... You can see through to what's inside. That's a horrible design. You can see all the money she's carrying. That's right. Apparently meshwork bags like these are at the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. You just said that, you dumb shit. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. As you can see, there's nothing to imply from Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that Naruhodo. Now I have to get out of here before I'm translating for a murderer disease acts up again. It tends to happen every so often. Order, order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that pregnant as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. A photograph of the handbag has been entered into the court record. I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. It's dinner time. Oh, I mean, guilty.
The pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime. Look, he's dead. No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start.
I think you're fucked, buddy.
Kazuma?
Sorry, Reno's gay. Now the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue.
What? You mean this is it?
I'm just gonna pretend like I don't know you.
I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat, while the strong eat. And I eat. You are wasting your time. There's no way to defeat true justice. The fact that you can chew onto your heart's content from the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. Am I gonna be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Cosma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Cosma,
What?
is there really no chance now of turning this trial around?
You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means, there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Very well, I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
It seems we'll be able to report to the British government on time, after all.
Little. Yunosuke Naruhodo, having considered all of the evidence placed before me, I hereby find you yes!
Oh, he did the thing right. Wait, Your Excellency!
Yunosuke.
I don't think you can rule on this case quite yet. This amateurness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom. Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now, that means that if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, I mean, then ruling on the case at this time, it would be out of the question. This is a blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. It's black and white. And it is black and white. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence.
You better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the trial's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag other than that it's a real piece of work that I need one of.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. I need one too. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. This is a whimper. There's something about this photograph that doesn't seem right. I feel like I can put my finger on it.
Very well, I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
Well, huh?
But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response here, I'm gonna come down there and beat you with this gavel myself. It's going to hurt. And it's not going to be... I'm gonna go down there and open up a can of whoop ass. Is that what the kids say these days? You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant detail to which you have alluded. The only thing I can think of is this, but I don't know what it means. What does this have to do with anything? People? Victim of the case is a visiting professor of medicine. We lost the Hoei era gold koban coin. I forgot about that. I mean, yeah, that's the only thing I see that could possibly be.
He's missing the finger!
No, he's not.
Oh shit.
It's this?
Yes! Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist.
So, it looks almost like a burn of some description.
Objection! Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you were coming out with.
Piffle? I like that word. I need to use that.
A burn, you say? On the victim's wrist? Clearly this has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it on his report.
What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Ouchie points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow further time to be spent on precise details of this burn. Excuse me, Your Excellency, it would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now.
Oh, well, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. Please say my name. I'm sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
He's just asleep. What's your thinking on this, Rinosuke? Do you believe this burn has something to do with the case?
To be honest, I'm not really sure, but if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging in the hope that I might uncover something useful.
Yes, you're right.
If
we can just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise this shutting door back open again.
Just give up, Counsel. You couldn't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed, I'm afraid that without evidence, I cannot allow you to pursue what is more than just conjecture. But if we had evidence, which we don't, but we might later, evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to this case, then would you allow it? I would, yes. Only if you treat me to dinner afterwards. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. As soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face.
Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means.
So that the defense will now present its evidence to the court. Oh shit. Hang on. Shit. Examine. Magnify. Magnify! I can see the bowl? I think that's a bowl, or it's like... it's either a bowl or like the lower half of somebody's body facing the camera. See the ass cheeks and he's like squatting a little bit? That's what I see. I don't want a tribal squat, except he has no like upper torso. Where'd the burn come from? What does the burn have to do with anything? Bullet did not pass through the body. There's gotta be something here. Let's look at the people again. He's an authority in forensic medicine and he is a visiting professor of medicine at Union University of the British Empire. He was studying under the victim at Yume University's medical school. He's hunting for a lost Hoei-era gold Koban coin at the time of the incident. Empire of Japan who witnessed these. Shit, I don't know. This is clearly a record of some kind of medical treatment. There's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction with the use of an anesthesia. Extraction so he had a tooth out. Yeah, as it sounded like just before he went in for lunch, Dr. Wilson had to have a decayed tooth removed. They probably used laughing gas so he couldn't feel anything. It's the latest medical advancement in the West. Yes, I've heard people talking about this new idea of anesthetic. It's impossible to imagine not being able to feel pain, though. As a cautionary note at the end of whoever wrote this, it says, no food or drink other than water for 3 hours post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. It's thinking time. This is the first case. What is this mark? What could that mark mean? It's a burn mark specifically. Let's just keep going and see if they can Oh, the evidence that demonstrates this is that This is an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial. Nice pin, dude. Nice pin. Ah, symbol of Yume University. Every student wears this pin with pride. It's funny, but most emblems seem to be either round or rectangular. I like the spike design, even though it doesn't really make any sense. Although it does cause problems, lots of students end up cutting their fingers on their badges. Perhaps it was the idea of one of the founders. A sharp pin for a sharp mind or something. It looks nothing like the badge. That's dumb. Fatal hemorrhage from pectoral ballistic trauma. Single bullet fired from close range. What about the coin, though? The coin doesn't have anything to do with this right now. Let's see. Oh, look! Look! There it is! He burned himself on the plate? Wait, what? Was the plate too hot? When you go to a Mexican restaurant, they're all careful, hot plate. They're like, yeah, it's not a big deal, I can take it. Oh my god! I think I got it. It's this! Oops. Yes! What's this, Council? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency, I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded furthermore. You hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? Are you saying my nudes I posted online will come to haunt me later on? I beg to differ. Actually, we made you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. So how did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here furthermore. No one says furthermore anymore.
Objection! You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show this court exactly what you mean. What is in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn?
It's the steak. It's very beefy. It was a steak, because it's cow. Wait a minute.
Yes!
This was his plate. He ordered the steak.
The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate. The steak was served on. The plate.
Your Excellency, are you alright?
It's okay, I'm just having a stroke. As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I guess it's some sort of trademark of Le Carnival. This emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape. He does get you genius. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Objection! But even if that was the case, we don't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, or the day after that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time.
Objection! Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim.
Thanks. Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly. But, I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate were at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks, but I have not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of Le Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter!
Oh!
Yes!
Yes! There you have it! Something isn't right here. As a detective said, anyone who burned themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that, unless they were an absolute Chad. And yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream, not on that day nor any before it. That's right, and the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day, that would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel. And the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Well, yes, I suppose.
So no spoilers, but what about ideas for the blind viewers? You can say it if you want, but I'm trying not to look too much over at the comments too often in fear of being just straight up spoiled. You never know what's gonna happen. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? That's the same reason I took the chat. I turned the chat off for this stream. Okay, you never know, especially for games like this. I almost don't believe it, Ryusuke, do you think? Really be true? I never dreamed to arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe he's been dead the whole time. He's been dead before I even started talking to him. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already dead. was asleep. How am I gonna remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds? That's clearly impossible. Or from in one particular situation. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible if the men were already dead.
Already dead?
Huh. Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. Maybe he was poisoned. Maybe he was poisoned with that glass. That's why she was taking the glass back with her. Maybe. I don't know. When the beefsteak was brought to Mr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. That's
madness. Oh, that's madness.
Always poison. Always poison.
Order, please. Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous point that made the rookie student. But he clearly has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
No, Prosecutor Algie, it's you who has no grasp of the facts. I beg your pardon.
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, the witness was already dead before the gunshot was heard. I think he was poisoned. It's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it.
Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events.
I don't know what made the gunshot noise though. If it wasn't the gun, what was the bang noise?
I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But, Your Excellency, she clearly, look at her, she's clearly hungry.
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment.
No, thank you, Your Excellency. Uh-oh. She's looking at me funny. Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
She can't talk.
Miss Brett, you speak Japanese. Well, of course I do. I'm studying in your country after all.
Then why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible.
Damn, we just got burned as a race.
It seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen.
Jesus.
Sorry, give me first. Quick second to clear the sinuses a little bit. Some of these voices are very nasally. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with all you at your own level.
You are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you so graciously afford us. Oh, you are a simp, aren't you? In that case, Mr. Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. We'll have you write a Jane Schaefer essay. Please, if you will, keep it 5 paragraphs, remember? Introduction, first, second, third, and conclusion.
So we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. In Jane Schaefer, no less. Things getting interesting, Ryunosuke. It's the basis of all essays. Fortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible causes of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please, do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Oh, we are getting burned hardcore. That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in Supreme Court's history. Thank you. Easy does it.
I hope that it's the last time I'll have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Shit. Forgive me, I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
You mean like literally everybody here?
No, it's a delight to merely hear you speak, dear lady. And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant. I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. The Minister of Justice? May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible! Amen. Thanks? Was that a prayer then?
Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with the cross-examination now. I expect you noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination of this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear?
Going Super Saiyan!
Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination.
He just explodes. He just claps his cheeks and just a bloody gibs everywhere. Oh my god! Fortunately, I had no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But, of course, this country's inferior investigator take things probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway.
What do you think, Rinosuke?
I don't know. I think this could be hard work. She can speak Japanese brilliantly, but she doesn't seem to know what to say very much. She doesn't even want to say very much.
The more she says, the more she's more likely to give away. This English woman knows that only too well. She's quite formidable.
Dr. Wilson's burn tells us something, I'm sure. I have to use this cross-examination to find out what. First things first, I'm going to press her on everything she said and try to make her blurt something out.
That's the way to. You're starting to become more routine. You're turning this into a routine. No, don't worry, it's nothing.
Unfortunately, I had no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. Yes, you do! But his head was on the searing hot plate for at least 3 whole seconds. You couldn't not have noticed. Do you think so? Well, let me ask you something.
Sorry?
Ever since I arrived at this courtroom, and even still now, the fly on those unsightly black trousers of yours have been wide open. You can't not have noticed, can you? What fun! You haven't realized. Dear lady's absolutely right, your fly is down.
As your friend, you've embarrassed me as well yourself, Rinosuke.
Why didn't you tell me? Dr. Wilson was a true English gentleman. He chose honorable silence over a vulgar scream. Can your tiny brains imagine such a thing? Oh yes, I think my tiny brain can. Yes! Well, I can't. Anyway. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right? Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink, correct, waiter?
Exactly as you say, sir. Although... Whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that. I don't remember hearing him burp, nor fart.
Damn you! I have enough English to understand that, at least. For the benefit of others in the court, it means bless you. Oh, I think it means the exact opposite. Anyway. far as I've heard. Oh, wait. As far as I've heard, the postmortem report showed no other cause of death besides the gunshot. Yes!
Yes! Yes, it's written here in the paperwork.
Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma. Yes.
Luckily for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death, it can only have been the bullet from your gun that put the end to this innocent man's life.
But that doesn't make any sense. The burn must have happened straight away, when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter.
Yes, otherwise his food would have cooled, and you would have been left with cold beef. Nobody likes a cold steak.
The victim burned his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought out of the kitchen. Then he must have already been dead at that point. Man, I could really go for a steak right now.
No, you can't have any steak. You have to go to the mess hall for that. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time. Indeed, steak does sound good at the moment, but right now I have a hankering for some chicken.
If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me.
Without leaving a trace? Ugh.
If someone is shot, strangled, or stabbed or thrown from behind, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body.
Quite right, dear lady. And our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased. There can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga? As I've stated, I've always aimed for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark.
If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
Oh no.
Perish the thought, calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question.
On my honor, I, Takatsuchi Ouchi, will cut down any who dares cast such aspersions. The way of killing someone that leaves no traces. We need some evidence to back us up here.
Yes, evidence.
Do I have any evidence of poisoning? I don't know if I have any evidence of poisoning. That's all I have. Weren't they medical students though? Not leaving a trace. No. I could present the bag, I suppose, with the glass, but I would rather have, like, proof that poisoning is a thing rather than cutting straight to the glass. Well, I'll try it, let's see.
Yes!
That statement is clearly odd. What appears to be odd is the way you're presenting yourself.
Oh, pay no attention, Your Excellency.
You wouldn't kindly lower your hand.
Shit! Until I've proven I'm innocent here.
Let's, I'm gonna keep pressing.
Yes!
Inferior?
What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination, but in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't that so?
Quite right. The Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. Days it is. They put it out on their billboard. Dude died in here earlier.
Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost.
What's wrong with you?
It doesn't even occur to your native detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand?
Blow, blow! A lady as formidable as she is beautiful. Amazing! He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps prosecutor Ash is finally starting to see some sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. Someone started dying over there. What do you think, Rinosuke?
I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information.
Yes, as I suspected. She's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over.
But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue around here to help us find a chink in her armor.
Kazuma?
Oh, Kazuma!
What, Rinosuke?
There is one thing I noticed, something that's been bothering me.
Bothering you, you mean? About Miss Brett?
Actually, no. The person standing next to her. Inspector Hosonaga. The detective?
The detective?
Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. It might present an opening, maybe.
I think you're full of shit. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing on that last statement one more time. If you think so,
but
this time instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective.
oh, alright. Wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose, once I press Miss Brett on her last statement again.
Yeah, I guess this is something new that you don't really see in Ace Attorney games. Is two people on the witness stand at once.
Yes! Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything from...
Oh, right.
Right, Lady Cardinal is open for business. She takes out the information. Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why?
Up and done now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity.
What do you mean?
When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down.
Yeah, you're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts.
It's time to kill them. And to pursue the man in his train of thought.
Sorry? Pursue?
I'll explain how to do it now, Rinosuke. It's all to do with the witness's marker.
What marker?
At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, but who's the person who's actually making the current statement? But by moving the marker left and right with the D-pad, you can turn your attention to the other people on the stand. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with aid. If you can catch the person just at the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people in the stand, take a good look around.
Alright, then, so first I should move the marker across with there, and then focus on the detective, and pursue him with there, and see what's on his mind. Here we go! Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost.
Oh. Ah.
Excuse me! Excuse me? What is the meaning of this? I've been interrupted in illness. It's firing up again. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts deeply.
Looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say.
If there's something you'd like to say, please share it with the court. What is the meaning of this? It's a delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately. Oh, is that how it works?
Absolutely not.
Hmm?
The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness.
Yes, not to mention the fact he's intimately involved in the case. I was intimately involved with Miss Brett. Oh? What did you say? She's lost one subscriber just now.
You have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak. It is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain, which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always tried to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. It's my acting cool illness. Acting cool syndrome. A crime scene thief? Well, looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Is that? This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, sadly, having been opened 3 days ago now. Don't try tasting it, it tastes horrible. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anybody says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle, I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. The time is coming, I guarantee it. There it is again. I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. This Brett. Can you confirm that this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death? Can I have a sip? Yes, it was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well, counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. I'm going to take a nap for a little bit. Wake me up when you figured something out. Now, let's take a look at some of our evidence here now. Can I detect anything on here? What do we got? Oops. The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. It must be very expensive water. It sounds like the biggest scam ever. What does it say? That's what I was asking. Then go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know. Oh, I can't rotate it? I can't rotate the bottle at all? Really? Alright. Well, I can try... There's some other way man's life can be taken without leaving a trace. Please do show me. Alright, I'll show you. I'll show you real good. This you can get this carbonated water that I can't rotate, that I wish I could, but... Or maybe I can. Oh, there we go. I have to click on the window. What we got here? What about the bottom of it? Anything interesting? Oh. No, there's definitely water in there. Oops. Damn it. So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. It looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. I'll just have a sip of this to keep me going. No, Rinosuke, you can't do that. You can't drink flat water. It's just regular water. For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence. Oh, no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we? You never cease to amaze me, Rinosuke, in more ways than one. I wonder, could there be anything in this water? What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden. I think I might have just worked out something. Or I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility. Yes! What is this? The bottle of water? Actually, there is one method of killing men without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poisoning.
Poison?
On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Would it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Oh. Order, order. This is absolutely false. I take sips from my glass all the time and you don't see me dead. And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could have possibly done it. Me! I mean, Jesse Albright, it was you!
Objection!
Couldn't have been the waiter too?
That is outrageous to suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile, have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten we've only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling of what your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime. The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. If I may, I will silence you forever for this disgraceful— Oh. It's you! You should be silent. Of course, anything. Your lady. Where did that come from? She just snapped. I'm afraid I've spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. I'm sorry, my lady, to what are you referring? I described your police force as inferior, but no matter how inferior there may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not. Of course. You did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of this bottle and its contents. And what did you find, Inspector? I would test for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What if it was a poison that came from Britain? The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No! No, wait a minute. What if the bubbles were the carbonation was the poison? Now that the carbonation's gone, there's no more poison. I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. You successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you. But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours. I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution have asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett. Oh no, I've just got the matters resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this point? Kazuma? I'm sorry, Inosuke, I have nothing more. Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving. Bitches!
Hold it!
Oh. Who's that? I don't know what else to give her.
Wait, what?
Isn't that? What is the meaning of this?
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency.
Susato
Mikitoba, judicial assistant to the defense.
Mikitoba? In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go. She appeared like a bolt of lightning. In her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in a furoshiki cloth. What do you... Oh, to be continued? We're getting places. The Great Departure, only episode 1 out of like 10 that are in this game? Because there's like this is 2 games back to back? Jeez. Tricky, kind of, a little bit. Who are you? And where did the waiter go? I was gonna order some food from him. Waiter, come back! I want a beefsteak too.
Yeah, a judicial assistant and a woman, no less. The rules state that females are not permitted in this court of law other than to testify. Yes, I fully understand. I only asked for 5 minutes of time. I have some very vital evidence that I must hand over to the defense. You're too late, little girl. This trial's already been concluded.
5 minutes. I will not allow a moment more.
But, Your Excellency...
It takes about 5 minutes for me to put on my bib and get my silverware.
I am most grateful.
Gee, it sure is crowded here. Can you, like, move over a little bit?
Who exactly are you? I'm sorry, there's no time. Please, simply accept this for now.
What is it? A report about something written in English?
It's Giselle Brett's research.
The English woman's?
After the trial resumed earlier, I hurried back to the university. I went to Dr. Wilson's laboratory in the medical facility and borrowed this paper.
Oh, yes, that's right. Miss Brett was studying under the professor, wasn't she?
So does this research, or whatever it is, have something to do with the case? I'm afraid I don't know. I can't read. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself.
Oh, no, of course not. Special characteristics of curare and its effects on human subject. Interesting. Curare? What's that? I've never heard that word before.
Time's up! The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom. There's too little time for me to read it in detail, but I've summarized what I could on a note just outside the cover. If you think it could be valuable, please cast your eye over it.
This is wonderful, thank you!
Goodbye then, and good luck!
Wait, what do you got here? Poison synopsis. Oh, what was it called? Curare. A poison made from the bark of certain trees in the jungles of South America. The hunters of the region have used it since ancient times to incapacitate their prey. Effects: instant paralysis of the entire body and subsequent death, even in minute doses. Rules of entry: the above-mentioned effects occur when the poison enters the body through a wound, such as that affected by a blowpipe dart. A wound. Oh, cause he got the dental implants, so he got his tooth removed, so there was a wound in his mouth. Due to its ability to render the human body paralytic, it's believed that the toxin could have applications as an anesthetic. However, a solution for the respiratory arrest caused as a result of the first body paralysis must be found first, or patients would die of suffocation. Huh. So he just drank a bunch of anesthetic and didn't get the treatment for it. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, so this isn't an anesthetic yet because it kills people. Might as well be an anesthetic, though. You have had long enough, counsel. You cannot detain our English guest any longer. I asked the prosecution and the defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but...
The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
We're out of options here. This really is our very last chance.
Yes, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence.
Oh yeah? Try me. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett,
Yes, Your Excellency.
if you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence just a little bit longer.
It's a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so very long until tea time. I'll have to parlay to climb.
Forgive me, Miss Brett, it seems I wasn't clear. I realized it was phrased out as a question, however. You'd better sit your ass back down.
I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady. So, counsel, what is this new evidence that demands the court's attention?
Is this Miss Giselle Brett?
Oops.
We understand you were studying under Dr. Wilson at Newman University doing research. Research, by sheer coincidence perhaps, into a deadly poison. What?
Poison? Where are you going with this, counsel? The toxin known as curare, your excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to instant death. Except it's not instant. You go into paralysis first and then you die. Well, it's not really instant.
What? What complete and utter nonsense? Curare, you said? I've never heard of it.
You wouldn't have...
What do you mean?
I mean that you wouldn't have heard of curare before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country.
It doesn't exist? Correct. Which means, no matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they'd never identify curare. Why? Because there is no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison. What?
Order, order, order. Waiter, order me. I'd like to order a nice steak, please. I've been sitting here for 4 hours, hungry as hell. Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist? I'd like to order a steak. Hold the poison, please. Curare has long been used by the tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists.
To lace their arrows?
The report states that it's produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep within the Amazonian jungle. And it was first brought back to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with curare suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Ms. Brett?
Objection! Trumperies! These aspersions are utter trumpery! To start with, if the victim had been administered some of this so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain, and the other diners would have surely noticed.
That's true. What do you say to that, Inspector? Obviously, I would have noticed a disturbance like that.
I don't remember anything like that either. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain.
According to this, however, it's the other way around.
What do you mean the other way around?
The very fact the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that curare was used. Explain yourself, counsel. The moment this toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant Man, this guy did that question for me. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all. How terrible. Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with the chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects would go by largely unnoticed.
But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison caused instant death.
Yeah, shit. I shouldn't have said instant death. The full explanation is extremely unpleasant. The poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail.
Respiration?
So in other words, it's not instant. In other words, the cause of death is suffocation. And all the while, the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move.
That's hideous.
To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim himself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly curare poison.
I think you're full of shit.
And you're suggesting that this bottle capsule actually contains this terrifying poison? Let me try.
Objection! No, Judge, I will be the one to try it. I have to impress the lady. A hitherto unknown poison for which there's no means of testing. What a happy tale for the defense. If I may. All these facts, you think you're so clever, but you must be taught some manners. Oh. It is you who must be taught. Of course. Dear lady. So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it? What? You steal others' honest hard work and then announce the results as if you discovered them. I'm appalled. What such a loathsome act.
Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual.
Whatever do you mean?
Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances of innocent men to frame him for a heinous crime. That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree?
Objection! Enough of this. I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules.
What's so funny? Telling a joke over there?
Oh, excuse me, Your Excellency.
As Miss Brett.
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
Well, yes, I don't see why not. She's gonna... Oh... Is it? Oh. Be careful, it's very nasty. There's no fizz in it anymore.
Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys!
I'm sorry?
To an English woman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy! Your little political games and these foolish court romantics are laughable, really! But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for the games to end. Cheers, big ears. Gulp, gulp, gulp. Wait, what are you doing? No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair. It's just regular spring water.
Is she dead yet?
Goodness me, whatever's the matter? You all look quite stunned.
So, no, curare, the bottle was clean. Is that what you're saying?
Ha ha ha! You look quite incredulous, little boy, but of course. That's the simplest truth. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely here in this grand venue. Most kind. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency.
Yes, Miss Brett.
I should like to be excused now, please. I think I've given more than enough of my time. For the furtherance of friendships between our countries.
Yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all the assistance you have given. This doesn't make sense. There had to have been poison in that bottle. I know, I would know. I put it in there.
What? How did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale?
I thought you. I thought we were bringing it back to her eating the glass after it was done. I don't understand it.
I suppose there's nothing else. This Far Eastern charade here will make for interesting conversation at the next party I attend in London. There has to have been some poison in that bottle, doesn't there? Isn't there? Couldn't there? Wouldn't there? Wouldn't there? And Ryunosuke, we have all the clues now. That bottle of water contains
No poison. Because it was in the glass. She put it in the glass after it had been poured. As I thought, there is no poison in that bottle. Why Inosuke? This is obvious. If there was poison in there, she'd be dead by now. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Sometimes your unadulterated naivety. I thought it was naivete. Really astounds me, but sometimes it's in need of a good staining. Until it's as dark as your uniform in the ways of the world. What the hell are you talking about? That was a guileless ending to a promising line of inquiry, Counsel, for which you will be penalized. This whole trial is poisoned! There has to have been poison in that bottle. But there couldn't have been, because otherwise she would have keeled over dead! Oh. Come on. Oh, I thought the bottle of water contains poison. Oh. What? It does contain poison? Oh! Well, wait a minute. There's an antidote. The solution for respiratory arrest caused by a result of the... So she just drank anesthetic, but she has the solution. Maybe. Culprit did put curare poison in Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. But the defense refuses to change its position. You're serious? Wait, you fool! Are you blind? There's no possible way that bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw you spread drinking the water from it. That's right! Which rather complicates your argument, I think. And I believe that complication can be explained. How? Exactly. I need to think through all the things that don't quite add up here one by one. I'm sure the answer's in the evidence we have in the court records somewhere. It has to be. Very well, if the defense truly intends to assert this claim, then I must ask you to support the assertion with evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume the supposedly poisoned water unscathed? Yes! The answer to this riddle is right here in Miss Brett's own research report. It's not a valid explanation. No? After all, we don't speak English. That report is utter gibberish. This impudent young scoundrel is trying to ridicule the court, Your Excellency, because I can't read. I'm not trying to ridicule anyone, honest. I'm just reading Susato-san's notes. I concur. This report is too extensive to be considered in its entirety by the court. You will direct us to the pertinent statement, Counsel. Which section of the report reveals the alleged answer to this riddle? It's written right here, under practical applications, I think. Oh, really? Go on. Well, think about it. You want to know how the poison can be drunk without it taking effect? That's a practical application of the poison's use as a drink. Wait a minute, did I put the wrong thing in? Let me look at the court record again. I thought it was the last one. Oh, yeah, practical applications. Our solution, yeah. Oh, wait. The above mentioned effects occur when the poison enters a body through a wound, such as those inflicted by a blowpipe dart. Because she doesn't have her mouth, there's no cut in her mouth, so, or no incision in her mouth, so it doesn't affect her. Yeah, but this could go a lot of ways. One, she could have put the poison in the drink after it was poured. Two, she could have, and the poison was in, it wasn't in the, well, two, she could have the antidote to the poison. She could have taken that somehow, and it wouldn't affect her, and it would just be an anesthetic, so she wouldn't be able to feel pain. Or this. This could go a couple ways.
Objection!
You'll have to do better than that. Shit. I'm getting low on lives here. I shudder to think how we'll fare in the 20th century if we were led by the likes of you. Who said I was leading anybody? I'm just a guy. Inosuke. What? Read properly. Oh, thanks. I get it. I did.
You don't have any more of a clue about the English tongue than I do. It's completely intractable.
I concur. This report is too excel. Special characteristics. We've been hearing a lot about this curare poison, and it left me curious about something. Council? Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters have been using this poison for years and years to lace the heads of arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting. So we've been led to believe, yes. And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat.
Get to the point, please.
But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat? Yes, good point. So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison. Good gracious, Council, no, that would be madness. But I actually found the answer to that conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Through a wound, you say? I see, that makes sense. Yes, mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When the curare enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever. What? Miss Brett! You authored this research, you knew Kurare's special characteristics, and you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking that water without any danger to yourself! You meddling little... Oh! No! The swan's alive! It's a real swan! Oh my god! Swans are terrifying! You ever seen Hot Fuzz? That swan goes batshit crazy! You're an even better lawyer than I thought you'd be. Really? Me? A lawyer?
Objection!
All this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure, but I fail to see how possibly... So, the ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts he read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly. Well, what are you trying to say? Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw. Schoolboyish? Flaw? As even your brain has managed to deduce curare is safe to ingest, it seems likely that the effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric succus. Oh, yeah, well, of course. Gastric suckers, what the hell? So obviously the poison is completely harmless when drunk. The professor wouldn't have died when he swallowed it, would he? That's right. Goodness gracious. That's basic science, science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand, no? Order in the court, order. Logic holds, if the lady and the professor drink the same poison, they would be affected in the same way. You trying to suggest? Yes, this curare poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial. That's right, I poisoned the glass. But I didn't kill anybody, so it's okay. Surely even a little cockroach like you can understand something as simple as that. Cyclops? No? Oh, alright. What is this welling up inside of me? I've never felt like this before. It's a sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey. Jesus, dude.
Objection!
Oh, nice one. Said a yes. I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett. How dare you use that tone with me? You know very well that there's no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead. Counsel, I'm sure I don't need to remind you that you must provide compelling evidence, as we now know this poison is completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the curare? Because of that.
Take that!
Take that!
As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners.
Fatal difference. The toxic effects of Curare are only felt when the poison enters the body through an open wound. So, for a healthy person with no injuries, the drinking is completely harmless. But what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water? Inside? Or an ulcer? Or hemorrhoids? If you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Ms. Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day. So that's it. You used that knowledge to orchestrate this. Is she laughing?
I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly, I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are so puerile.
What do you mean?
Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough what puerile means.
Oh, what's she doing? Ah! Catch her! Oh.
You see, when you leave vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
And you can just slip. Oopsie. My bad. Oh dear, how careless of me. I'm afraid some crucial evidence may have just been tragically destroyed.
No.
No!
That's an English woman. She just smashed that bottle. And it's a Supreme Court with a terrible blunder. Officer, what are you waiting for? Collect as much of the water from that broken bottle as possible at once.
You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet at my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it.
What the hell are you talking about? Just take the carpet and twist it. Like a rag. The water will come out.
How could you? You won't get away with this. You can thump the bench and shout as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there really was poison in that bottle or not.
You.
And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel for the prosecution?
Oh, of course, of course. You're referring to this
Photographic print, I assume, dear lady. That's right. And really, looking at this photograph, it's as clear as day, isn't it? The poor professor was sitting on his back to me. Of course, the only person who could have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy.
No, you killed the victim that day using curare. And then in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruhodo for the crime. You waited until he picked up the pistol you've arranged for him to find on the floor, before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun. Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor and his chair around. You see, you had every opportunity to commit this crime.
Oh, what a wonderful imagination you have, young man! Huh? A hidden gun, you say? And I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence.
Exactly. And as you have nothing to support your wild claims, the prosecution stance remains unchanged. The victim, John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
This is unbelievable. How could this be happening? We had her, but now is she really gonna get away with it? We should destroy the evidence we've seen.
Ryunosuke, we've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish it.
What do you mean?
We've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true, so if there are any clues left for us to use now, they must be in your head.
In my head?
Let me take this scalpel and get this stuff out of your head. You told me before that your powers of observation were the one thing that you could really depend upon.
Yes, that's true, but
but I didn't manage to notice this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her head. So think back again now, try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Oh, I remember now. It wasn't a gunshot. It was the swan. The swan killed him. I just got finished saying how swans were a deadly animal. It wasn't a bullet. It was a bill. Every color. Is Cosmo right? Somewhere in the vibrant memory of the same scene in my head. Could there be another clue to expose the identity of Dr. Wilson's killer? Yeah, it's like in my head. Actually, Cosmo, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue. Aha! You always have something up your sleeve, don't you, Ryunosuke? Come on then, let's wipe the smug smile off that English woman's face with some evidence. Alright, I can't wait. It's been niggling me for a while that something feels amiss in my memories that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all of this. It's here somewhere. The clue that shows who Dr. Wilson's real killer must have been. The blood? The blood. Oops.
Take that!
Inspector Hosonaga, answer me this. Yes. What is it? Still miles away. Probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you said a number of times now, you strive for perfection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took something else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took to the victim's table that day.
Wait a minute, where are you going?
Where are you going with this little boy? It's just a memory that's been troubling me. What memory? I saw the scene shown in this photographic print with my own eyes that day. The scenes of spleen. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was a splattering of blood.
What? Are you sure the steak wasn't just rare?
Oh, really? And what of it? Obviously, that must have happened when you shot the professor. No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything there. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I was supposed to have shot Mr. Wilson in the chest from the front, there's no way the blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Yes, for blood to have made its way onto a plate, it implies the plate was between the victim and the shooter. Which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite of the professor, as you were. Giselle Brett. I beg your pardon.
This is beyond ridiculous. Fabricated nonsense.
Is the court seriously expected to believe something the accusers apparently just remembered seeing? This could be the moment that my entire career in the police force has been leading to. Inspector, you mean? Yes, that is my blood on the plate. I had my just freshly served a steak to a customer of illness at the time. In the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime, I took it, meat and all. I don't care if they called me a crime scene thief because of it. You did what? Oh, I took the steak that you had been eating, Miss Brett. Oh, I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. I took everything. I'm a kleptomaniac. In the name of justice. Yes, then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it right now. Give me that plate! Oh no! The critical evidence! Inspector, the court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately. Yes, sir. Ah, there's my steak that I just ordered. Thank you, finally. Here's what you ordered. The steak. I like mine medium rare. And I like mine just regular rare. This steak is clearly well done. course, examine the plate at your leisure. Where's the blood? No? No blood. No blood anywhere. But no. No, that's impossible! I know I saw it. I'm sure of it. It was right there on the table behind the professor. There's blood on the side of the plate. What an unbecoming expression, little boy. Oh, you see, this is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you. I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire, I believe we may finally reach a conclusion in this trial. Let's hope so. Let's pretend attempted courtroom proceedings are painful to watch, but I do promise to do my best to forget about it when it's over.
This sorry-looking steak reveals the fact all too clearly. If the sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again, be my guest.
Oh, well, don't mind if I do. Was the plate I saw, or thought I saw, just a figment of my imagination? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at that plate. Can't find anything out of place. Nice steak. Oh, wait, huh? What in the world is this? That's the Antiquator's coin. I think it's a Koban coin, and the hallmark is from the Hoei era, I believe. No, I don't mean what is it. I mean, what is it doing there? What the Wait, did you say it was a Hoei Koban? Yes, and apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable. This isn't the first time today that there's been talk about Hoei Koban. I've heard of pearls before swine, but I'd never heard of bullion and bullion. I don't think you ever will again. It's extraordinary. What the hell? This means that there was a coin hidden under the plate? What? Okay, it's not on the underside either. That's weird. Oh. This emblem on the side of the plate. Is it a cat? It's a cow. Obviously, dumbass. Most likely because the restaurant's signature dish is beef steak. Since a lot of different restaurants have their own unique tableware. So this is a symbol of our carnival, is it? Okay. Ryunosuke. It's not over yet, not until the final gavel. Huh? Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward, no matter what. Believe in myself? Really? Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself. As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objection? The bloodstain was going to clinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all? Does the steak have a bite taken out of it in the photos? Yeah, I think so. Look. You can't see it from there, but there's another, I think there's another shot where they showed the, yeah. See? There's another clue. It's the coin. I don't get it, but... Your Excellency, please wait. The plate of beef is hiding another clue. Another clue that will reveal the shocking truth.
The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak. I mean, I can get behind a nice beefsteak too, but...
Your Excellency, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial.
Sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
I see. As a newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, is it?
Thank you, Your Excellency. Counsel for the defense, you will now clearly show me the court what you are alluding. Where precisely on this plate of beefsteak is this new clue to be found? It's under the beef. Where? Huh? What's it? Oh, shit, come on. Alright, I get it. Shut up. There it is. It's right there.
Got it!
Plain as day. Good gracious, that's a Koban? What's on earth? A Hoi Era one at that. Miss Brett, this is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at the restaurant on the day in question, is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat? What?
What's a ridiculous question? How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what this is, but I want no part of it.
I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat? That could simply have been a careless mistake by the chef in a moment of distraction. Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen? A rare Hoei Koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. This turns out to be irrelevant to the case. I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now. He's right, it can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency. Yes, Counsel. A rare Hoei Koban just happens to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll give up my lawyer job right now.
By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway. Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant. Even though I'm the one on trial here.
The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing under that steak. The owner? Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person who could belong to. The owner of the Koban that was found underneath the beefsteak is... this dude.
Take that!
Curio. Obviously, it can only be the antique dealer and owner of Rasute, Curio Kurikuda-san. As in Mr. Cucumber something? Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable. Yes. My name is pretty weird too. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct? Yes, Your Excellency. I remember him saying that he was up to something with his Koban coin when it happened, at exactly the moment the gun was fired.
The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure, I was. Ah, indeed. Hoei Era Koban, my prize coin.
Sosei Era Koban, do you mean to tell me?
No. Please, why would Kurikuda-san's Koban be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and the plate? It makes no sense.
Yes.
Which is why I'm asking to bring Kurikuda-san back to the witness stand so we can ask him. Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here. Without a moment's delay. I can't believe we come back right into that pair again, but I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Koban, we'll find the key element to the case. Jeez, how long does this first act go on? Oh, I thought it was going to give us a to be continued. No, he's still... all 4 people are here? How many people can we have up in the witness stand at the same time?
What's this all about? Why have I been called up again? Don't you realize that it's dinner time for a little baby Ido? When my son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves. Exploited by the police we were, like miserable dogs forced to bear false witness. And when cast from this courtroom myself, I became a ruined man in trice. A worthless, withered antique. Nothing more have I to say. The sun has set on this Rasute shop owner's existence.
Be that as it may, Kurikuda-san, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute memory serves, have you ever seen this Koban?
Ah! That's... yes, that's it. The one. The very one.
The exact one that is! He just stabbed the dude in the foot.
The resplendent, splendiferous Hoei treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day.
Can't be.
As I thought.
Young man, enlighten this decrepit old fool, put me out of my misery. Kill me. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped? I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere.
We found your Gwen sandwich between a beefsteak and its plate soaking in the seasoned meat's juices.
Sandwiched. Seasoned soaking? Seriously?
Clearly, it couldn't have fallen there by accident, which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose.
Somebody concealed my holy treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate? Bitch! Who would do such a thing? Who would do such an unconscionable thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Excuse me, could I say something? Yes, of course.
Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga.
I mentioned this early on the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case.
Well, I guess that's right. The secret undercover operation.
The Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau.
Wicked crimes indeed.
We wanted to nip this case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected. So that's why you're sent undercover, is it? Yes, I took on the job of waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that this Cobon incident is the work of the same thief.
So, unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at work in the restaurant on a regular basis. This place is already the scene of several crimes, it seems.
I don't know about master of the thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid Korkuda-san's Cobon is all too clear.
What?
Huh?
I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. Tell us, who is a despicable scoundrel that stole Kurikuda-san's Cobon and hid it under the stake? Well, it must have. I mean, he's the one who. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't him. He was trying to catch the thief, so it must be Jezeel, the thief. She even has like the Phantom Thieves thing going on. She looks like Beauty Thief.
Take that!
Yeah, seems like a likely candidate for Cobon. Oh, come on, Ryusuke. Huh? You shocked me, Kazuma. Not as much as you shocked me. No one could have approached the table unnoticed. Even if you're a crazy fool, you couldn't have missed that. I'm sure you should be calling a... Oh! Wait a minute. Maybe I'm on the wrong track here. Oh, shit. Wait a minute. What's this? Discharging the prosecution. I'm fucked. Accordingly, I hereby announce this court's final verdict. I find the defendant. Shit! Could have stole the coin. Was it the baby? Maybe it was the baby. Does the baby have some part to play in this? I don't know how we get under the stake though, but I can see why no one would see the baby crawling around. But that'd be kind of dumb. Wait a minute. Because it sounds like the thief is very like particular. I don't think it would be an accident. Unless it was just Hosonaga himself. He steals a bunch of shit. But he was looking for the thief in the first place, which... Plus, I don't even have the baby on as a... Well... I mean... He was the waiter, so...
Take that!
No, that's not shit. Okay, I don't like guessing. I like putting some thought into this. But I thought I was on an interesting track, but it just didn't make any sense to me. It was a despicable scoundrel that stole the koban and hid it under the stake. Couldn't have been him, I don't think. He was looking for his shit. It's not him. Was it the victim himself? We don't know much about the victim's personality or anything. It was probably I'll bet you it was the baby. But I don't know why that would be a thing.
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be you. Sergeant Ayisa Noza! How dare you, you monster! Monster? I stole that koban, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnival. You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet? But it wasn't me. It was Ido. Ido is the mastermind behind all this. I tried pitting it on the kleptomaniac because he's a kleptomaniac. The waiter, because he's a kleptomaniac, but he's the one who's looking for the culprit, so it didn't make any sense to me, so I tried it didn't work. You would push the blame for your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Noza? Oh! What the hell's that? Oh god. Oh! Cloppity cloppity clop! Is he dead? Oh god. What the hell's happening? Imperial Army Sergeant Inosa Nosa reporting to stand down on the Supreme Court, sir. What? Oh, bastard, get back there. Do any of you know of the extraordinarily low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe? I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remains in place. And I have heard it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living, yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son. And that's why you're stealing at the restaurant. The place is heaving with money. Every 3 days I go there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I enjoy chopping my way through a good steak at the same time. Sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worryingly believable. And your target that day was the old man and his koban. Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. A veritable phantom thief you are. I was all set to leave the steak I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Yes, when the professor was shot. I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. Ido too, so I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could. On the double. I slipped it under the stake, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. Wait a minute. So that was his stake? This is ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time. Well, Miss Brett. Of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us. Quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. Praise the sun, and bow. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, your excellency. Indeed. The theft of the koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby Salem sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder. Of course it is! Hiding a coin under a lump of meat! Sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. Nonsense, is it? And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense, it's pure madness. Well, all the questions we concerning this witness's testimony have been answered. I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. And a good day.
Ryunosuke, what's the matter with you? There's no time for daydreaming.
Oh, no, it's just something about Miss Brett's parting words that got me thinking. Can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said just jarred with me. I feel like there's a contradiction in there somewhere. It didn't quite add up.
If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard!
Sorry?
You can think later, but if you don't call out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it!
Oh, wait, Miss Brett. What is it now? I'm afraid, just one last time, there's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words for just a few moments ago. What are you talking about? What contradiction? What new student nonsense is this?
Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke?
Hiding quintuple of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. As for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. It's pure madness.
Yes, right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction. There was no knife on his table. Wait. If Miss Brett's word were truly contradictory, where is the evidence to prove it? There's a fork, but no knife. Unless it's hidden behind him. Oh, never mind, there was a knife. Wait. So, oh, but the utensils are right there. And the knife has been used.
Take that!
A photographic print of the scene taken immediately after the incident occurred. What's interesting is the plate of the steak that you can see on the victim's table. The steak that Miss Brett has been eating before the professor was killed. Yes, go on. Well, more accurately, Your Excellency. The steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
You're just splitting hairs.
Not true. Doesn't something about this steak strike you as very unnatural?
Unnatural? What on earth do you mean?
It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett. Notice what exactly, Counsel? Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a fork and knife.
Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself.
Then take a good look at the steak. In particular, the edge where it's been eaten. As you can see, there are clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there. It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, if the witness actually claims wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife or fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously hungry and couldn't help her. Oh, whatever you say, dear lady. As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer. Of course. This will all be over in the blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Just leave everything to... I've heard enough. You irritating little spectacled samurai relic. Of course. Oh, dear lady.
What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers?
Only the witness knows what this means. She's realized the catastrophic implications of this teeth mark in the steak have for her.
Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this?
Yes. Now, at last, it's all come together.
Mysterious teeth marks in a steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. The reason why the bloodstain I know I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency.
Everything?
Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson.
Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase. Typical Japanese empty threats.
How could you be so sure?
Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago.
Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't even been brought before the court yet. Hasn't been... What? Just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist.
This is absurd. The trial's been run several hours already, and you say there's evidence that has to be brought forward? It can't be. I don't believe you have it. I don't, but there is someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case.
Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request to the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth about the whole affair? It's Toru Hosonaga. Well, it's him, because he grabbed everything from the crime scene, right? He would have the other plate.
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga. What? I have it? Yes. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous.
My bullshit. Oh shit, it's coming out again.
No, I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on this steak with the teeth mark. Yes. Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told me the court told me I enjoyed chopping my way through a good steak, and as well as admitting to stealing Kurokudo-san's coin, as he told us he slipped it under the steak. You watch it, cadet. I'm a superior officer. Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak? Attention! Affirmative, of course. I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still. I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentlelady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it. In other words, the steak that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal.
Objection!
But that makes no sense. That plate was taken from the victim's table.
Objection!
The gentlewoman didn't take bites out of her steak, nor did she have any opportunity to steal the coin.
Of course I didn't. Of course I didn't steal it. Didn't suggest such a thing would be affront to the entire British Empire.
Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
Exactly. I'm sure you're not going to suggest. The sergeant switched the two steaks over. You did switch the plates?
Well, after it happened, when I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my steak and hid the coin underneath it, but then when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I'd had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. With military precision and timing, I switched my steak with the one on the foreign lady's table.
What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing.
It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what had to be done.
Unbelievable.
However, you're not prosecutor, son. What now? I swear the brass buttons of my uniform, and that's all I did. I swear. All you did, that's plenty, Sergeant.
Yes!
So Sergeant Nosa switched the plates over. It means that he took Miss Brett's steak, and the plate it was on, back to his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. That to preserve evidence, you had taken both. That's correct? Then please present it to the court now. The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot.
Shut up!
What could that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat, it could have the slightest bearing on this case. It probably tastes like shite.
No, you're not wriggling your way out of it this time, lady.
I beg your pardon.
Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you, no? Yeah, so much alliteration.
You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me.
The reason the defense has to see that plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing.
Think C remembers.
I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Mr. Dr. Wilson, there's a clear splattering of blood from the gunshot wound in the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett. Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the court. Present the beefsteak and the steak that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident. Very well. Yes, sir. Sorry for keeping you. Oh, here's the other steak and its plate. Please feel free to examine it. Well, it's nice. It's nicer cut than the other one. Bloodstain. It's clearly visible. Look. Now this makes everything clear. The blood you see on the side of the plate shows that at the moment that the victim was shot, he was facing the table, with his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo-san to have shot the victim. It can't be. In fact, there's only one person who could have possibly shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. That's right. Miss Giselle Brett. It's you! Oh?
Done? By a Japanese? Me? By a Japanese schoolboy? No! Oh!
Oh, Jesus! Oh, get that swan out of here! Oh my god! Oh my god! Those chicks flying, goslings! Or swan chicks, oh, the black swan! Oh. Is she dead? She left us some dinner. I do like a good peeps.
Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me.
Well, Miss Brett. I think it's time you told the court what actually happened that day. The truth this time.
Gladly, Your Excellency.
We got her!
It was I who took the professor's life using curare. As you surmised, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning.
So you planned to kill the professor knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water, because curare is unheard of here in Japan.
Yes, of course. I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only need to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water and it would all be over. I would place a steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave him immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table.
That would be me, I suppose.
Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip from his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan at the spur of the moment.
A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man here.
Yes, I happen to know that the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use that fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of curare in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt.
Under your skirt?
So I was right. There were 2 guns.
Yes.
And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. A place where you were sure I would notice it.
And everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I'd intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up, bang! Bang, bang! That's when you shot the professor with your own gun. Even though at that point, he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor and his chair around.
Because, of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson before he picked up the gun. That's it then? Case is over? Can we all go out to get some dinner now?
So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor.
Oh.
Your Excellency,
Yes?
I wonder, might I speak with you in private later?
Oh, I wonder. I shall call on you.
Maybe you can reduce my sentence, if you know what I mean. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san. Screw y'all bitches, I'm out!
Yeah, it would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement.
This can't be! Nakatsuchi Ouchi does not lose! That's the likes of this rookie student!
You had better start getting used to tough opposition.
Ryusuke Naruhodo?
Yes?
This insult to the Ouchi family name will never be forgotten.
You have become conceited with age, Council, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. So die, here and now. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. No fighting in the courtroom. And thus, 1,000 millennia may pass, and still the Ouchi clan will never measure up to the Naruhodo clan. This trial in the Supreme Court of Japan will, I believe, go down in history as the start of a new chapter in our country's judicial system. Chapter 1, to be honest. Despite being summoned as the accused, you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, presented an excellent case.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its doors to the wider world. But the Western ideas of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. We are sure that science will bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits, but what will it look like I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kazuma Asogi. Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the illustrious British Empire. Learn all you can, absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. Mission? I understand. Your Excellency? What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden? Never mind. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, what, is he like an assassin or something? Oh, yes? In you, I sense, how can I put it? Unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant Yusuke Naruhodo not guilty. Now can I please go get some food in me? I've been sitting here for 6 hours.
She's still over there and is like just dumbfounded, dumbstruck face.
This court is now adjourned. Now all y'all get out of my face. I have a private session to attend to.
Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it. I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial.
Inosuke, you finally pulled it off. Congratulations.
Oh.
I couldn't have done it without you. Thanks, cousin. No, now it was a pleasure to watch you at work. Though you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place on Yume University Street, don't forget. You also promised to me that you'd bend over, but you don't have to worry about that. Oh, did you see his nose transform real quick? What was that? Oh yeah.
Oh, congratulations to both of you for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence.
Ah, our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know.
Oh no, I didn't do anything. Thank you so much. If we hadn't had that research report of Miss Brett's, I wouldn't have known things would have turned out. Your kind words should really be from my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate.
Your father? Oh, yes, of course.
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency.
Oh, right. It was just a flashback. I don't even see it. You can make it Toba. There you are. I believe congratulations are in order. Naruhodo, you did an excellent job.
Well, thank you, Professor.
Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you, after all. Your efforts exposed the true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Friend? Oh, yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it? Gosh, that's right. Professor Mikitoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably that's when you met Dr. Wilson. Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. Oh, you worked together? I've never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now, besides. It's your turn, Asoki. Huh? Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world. In science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in law. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot. I will. I'll learn all that I can. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan. You're not taking the sword to Great Britain, are you? Of course I am. That Japanese man's katana is his soul. This place shows me where I need to go. It cuts down anything that's in my way. Jeez. I definitely see how sharp it is with my own eyes. That reminds me, what happened to the woman? To Giselle Brett. I mean, after all, she's guilty of murder. Ah, yes, her. Not easy to tell you this, but... What do you mean? Really, she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit, after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future, for Shanghai. What? Shanghai? Giselle Brett will not appear in court again in this country, I'm certain of that.
What? Why not? It's a matter of consular jurisdiction.
Oh, that Dosanaga. It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today, very impressive to watch. I must congratulate... What's all this about consular jurisdiction? Now we cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan.
What? We can't try her? But who? Who are we gonna bring to justice? Or how are we gonna bring her to justice?
A British consular court will hear her case somewhere far away where our voices can't be heard. But why a consular court? Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we've signed the Friendship Treaty. Gosh, in normal circumstances, you're right. Then, so long as it's not a serious incident of a highly political nature to our respective governments. They can't invoke a consular court just like that. Oh, can't they? Yeah, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our government's making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. This Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. I'm afraid that for the young student, today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand over custody of Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously. But it's all going to change from now on. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil, this new era heralded by the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. Let's go get some steaks. Professor? You're right. There's no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Ryunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start by having some fun. In that case, might I suggest Lacarne? Oh, I didn't mean it. As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. You're Detective Hosonaga-san, aren't you? My friendship syndrome. Let's not dilly-dally. To La Carnival, will you accompany us, Professor? Of course, La Carnival's food is second to none.
I shall go and attend the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release.
Oh, yes, thank you. So Giselle Brett won't be tried here. It's bullshit. I suppose that I'll never know. I mean, I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma? Yes, Ryunosuke. I just want to say thanks again. That's all. You really saved my skin today. I didn't do a thing. You were the lawyer in there, weren't you? That defense was all your own work. Your skills made the difference, though. One day, I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. Oh, wait. That was me talking. I'm not so sure about that. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. What? Come on, be serious. If I helped you today, it was right at the very start of the trial, but you had a natural talent for it, for being a defense lawyer, I mean. Oh, no, not me. All that tense verbal combat, I never want to go through that ever again. I did what you told me to do, that's all, because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean? That's the point. Listen, Ryunosuke, do you know what the most crucial weapon is that any lawyer needs in order to win? Knowledge of the law? No, the ability to believe. To believe? Believe what? The defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it. I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make a choice of what to believe in and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in the courtroom you can really be backed into a corner. But being able to remain faithful to what you choose to believe in even then, well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in your client. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious real experience, but you never stopped believing in me. You faced seemingly hopeless situations time and time again, but you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it. Through your own efforts, and because you never stopped believing in me. Thanks, Kazuma. There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. Sounds serious. What is... Ah, you still there, are you? Oh, Inspector Hosonaga. I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go. Oh, thank you. Thank you. We'll be right there. Let's take up this conversation again later. We should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory. And your study tour to Great Britain, don't forget. Yes, that too. Oh. So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma, Professor Mikotoba, Suzato-san, who acted as my assistant, Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still, he served some food. It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. But more importantly, Cosmo hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. Oh no, he was gonna ask me for his hand in marriage. Oh no! What do I say? What do I do? Save current progress? Yes, please, because it's time for me to stop this stuff. Alright, that crap, and we are calling it there. Oh my god. What a session. Wow. That went on a lot longer than I thought it would. Probably because it took like 45 minutes to explain that the plate had been swapped? Like that, alright, I guess, sure. But, yeah. Whatever question she asked, you must say I do. Oh shit! I was right from the very beginning! Oh no! Yeah, that will be it for today. Will I be playing this again? At some point, I'm sure. Next week? I don't know, maybe, maybe not. But I at least wanted to do it, I at least wanted to finish this chapter before moving on to the next one and taking a break and doing another game possibly, but that will be it for this week. Next week I have lined up is, you guessed it, more Bloodborne for day 1 and day 2, and then a miscellaneous game that I have not decided on yet. It could be Greater Ace Attorney Chronicles, but I'm not positive quite yet. But for tonight, that will be it for me. I ran the clock, but it rounds out to about 3 hours, so that's good. That's good enough for me. But have a great week with you, Benji. Your streams are always fun. Oh, thank you, Jasmine Remedies. Thank you very much. I hope you guys had a good week too, and hope you have a good week for the rest of this week. But yes, I will be streaming again next week from, as always, stream from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. UTC. And you can always catch me Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at Benji Byline. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I will see you guys next time, because I am parched and hungry, thirsty, my throat hurts. I'm gonna go get some tea or something. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, guys. Thanks for coming.